Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to a mod pack spotlight. Today I want to show you guys Bliss. Bliss is a mod pack created by the one and only Vazkii, who had quite a few successes with mod packs in the past, making usually Vanilla Plus themed mod packs. So nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary, but also basically building upon what Vanilla already has and just making it bigger and better and more vanilla-y. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this really neat looking mod pack called Bliss. So let's start with the mod pack's core tenets. Number one, it's approachable for all types of players. Previous mod packs sometimes are overwhelming for people who aren't already super experienced with Minecraft. So this mod pack is designed for people who are, low or moderate level of experience with Minecraft and kind of want to get into like their first batch of mods without anything too crazy, right? It can be played in normal, but it's peaceful-like. In other words, combat should never be required for completing the game, but still exist and be doable on the player's terms. So basically, you can do most things in this game without getting into combat. You don't have to fight much of anything. But you can absolutely still fight things, and you can still set up mob grinders and still get resources that way if you want. And that doesn't mean just turning it on peaceful mode. In normal mode, there will be mobs, but they won't attack you unless you attack them first. And the final core tenet to talk about is that players should be able to fully enjoy the pack by using an unconventional control scheme. Basically, if you're using a controller instead of keyboard and mouse, you should still be able to fully enjoy the pack. There's no special hotkey bindings or anything that you need. If you're playing with something like an eye tracker, then you can still enjoy the pack and still have a good time. So let's go ahead and create a world and start checking out some of the rules of this mod pack. So I'm just going to create a quick world here, and we'll meet you in it. So one of the first things you'll notice as soon as you join the world, there's some pretty gorgeous shaders going on. So there's a customized version of shaders in the Bliss mod pack. There's no extra work you have to do to get them installed. Just by playing the pack, you've got them up and running already. Definitely picking up on some ambient sounds and some environmental stuff. Sounding really nice. And there's custom music for every biome and every situation that you're in. So as you go mining deep in the caves or you're in a different biome, you'll find that there's different music and different ambient sounds. So just a very highly immersive experience. So I'm kind of curious what's going to happen when I transition over to this snow biome. Oh, that is cool. I mean, the word immersion just pops into your head when you're watching this content, I think. It's almost like you forget you're playing Minecraft. That is really cool. Now, if you open up your inventory, you'll notice that the vanilla recipe book has been replaced by the Bliss guide. And this is going to be your guide through the mod pack. So players who are newer to mods and haven't really played before and want to have an idea of what to do, the Bliss guide is going to get you started. You can see there's the ropes, which is the initial chapter here. This shows you the ropes of the Bliss mod pack. Lots of information. Gives you a nice little welcome message, an intro to JEI. Traditional modded players are very used to JEI, though some of us may not be, right? So let's talk through what JEI can do. So in JEI, you can search for specific items or types of items. So for example, if we're searching for gold, we'll find all things with the word gold in it. But we can also search for things like red building blocks, and you'll find a bunch of things that look like red-style building blocks. So even if they don't have the word red building block in them, you can easily find all blocks that kind of match that description. You can look up recipes by pressing R, and you'll find out what the recipe is for an item, and then you can see how to use the item by pressing U, and it'll show you all the recipes that the item is used in. So for example, acacia planks here are used to make an acacia ladder, so pressing U discovers that, or right-clicking. Left-clicking will show you how to get acacia planks. For example, find Acacia logs and craft them by themselves. And then there's other tabs at the top that show you how to get different items in different ways. You can add items to your to-do list, so if you know you want to get some red concrete, you can hit the letter A on your keyboard while mousing over red concrete and have that show up on your left-hand side as a to-do list. And then in addition, there's a new hotkey called N, which allows you to create notes. So you can create a note and make something like a to-do list. And you can say something like, find Acacia wood. And then save that. And you can even pin it to your screen if you want, over on the right. Once you've selected it, you can go ahead and edit it, copy it, delete it, or unpin it. And then it's just there for access in the end screen if you want to see it going forward. You'll also notice that almost all of these screens will pause the game. So when you open up these screens, you don't have to worry about being bothered by something. There's also a section on video tutorials. Hey, that's me! And also Valen's made a video as well. You should absolutely check out both of these. I think you're probably already watching this one. But you should also check out Valen's video because he's going to do a completely different approach to mine. And between the two of us, hopefully it gives you a really good idea of what the pack's all about. Now, if you're not sure where to start as a player, jump into JEI and find something called Starter Kit, and that'll give you a good idea. So here's a bunch of items that you should probably look into getting as kind of your starting kit. Definitely recommend checking out at least each of these before you get started on anything else, unless you have a better idea of what to do. One more quick look at the starter kit, by the way. I want to note that a lot of items in JEI have an information tag that will show you details about what the item does. So for example, the sleeping bag tells you that it lets you skip the night wherever you are without resetting your spawn point. The chalk and what it does, right? The soul compass and what it does. So a bunch of different items here. If you're not sure what they do, take a look for this JEI information tab and it'll give you information. I think every starter kit item has an information at least, and a bunch of other items do as well. Now I'd like to introduce you to Lissa. Lissa is a friendly helper that's going to pop in now and then as you accomplish goals in the pack, advising you on cool features you should try out. So keep an eye for the exclamation mark on your book in your inventory, so this guy, because whenever you have something new to check out, Lissa will jump in and tell you what you might want to do next. Now that we've reviewed everything in the book, you'll notice that there's no longer an exclamation point here. So next time you do something, if you see an exclamation point on this, Lissa probably has something new to tell you about. There's also a long list of vanilla changes in this book that you should probably look through and get a feel for, right? So, real quick one, flying with an elytra over a campfire with a hay bale underneath will give you a quick altitude boost. So, lots of little tweaks and changes to the way vanilla mechanics work in this pack. Very much worth reading through all of these. So let's go on a little exploration journey where we talk about mobs. So mobs are very different in the Bliss mod pack. First and foremost, mobs, if you're on normal difficulty that is, do not attack you unless you attack first. So zombies, skeletons, all these things still spawn, however, they won't attack you unless you attack them first, in which case, watch out. In addition to that, mobs won't spawn in any blocks with a direct view of the sky, regardless of how dark it is. So if it's nighttime, you won't see mobs wandering around the overworld. However, in some caves, yeah, you'll definitely find them down there. But again, they won't attack you, unless you attack first. For example, hello Mr. Creeper. How's it going? Speaking of creepers, they won't grief your world. So no creepers and no endermen will be able to harm your world in any way, shape, or form. So no explosions, no endermen stealing blocks, none of that stuff. See? Monsters won't attack you unless you start a fight. Now, in addition, villagers on normal difficulty are guaranteed to convert to zombie villagers using the normal mechanics, so keep an eye on that. Spiders do not spawn. There are no spiders. All spider spawners have been replaced with creeper spawners, but cave spider spawners do exist still and will still show up, so watch out for them. Fire spread is disabled, and pillager patrols are disabled. That's pretty nice. Oh man, it's dark in here. Dark with a little creepy music. Now, there are exceptions to the rule of mobs won't aggro you unless you attack first. And that includes mobs that consider to be guarding something. So, for example, I think iron golems, if you find a bastion or a woodland mansion or a pillager outpost, the monsters there tend to guard those outposts. So if you walk up to them, well, you better watch out because they will aggro on you. So anything that's is considered to be guarding something will aggro you. If you attack a villager, the Iron Golem will attack you, for example. Now, if you do happen to enter an area like a bastion that is guarded, you'll get an in-game message warning you, hey, be aware, monsters will hate you here, so watch out. So if you forget this note, don't worry, you'll be reminded. Now, if you want slightly more or less challenge, you can also tweak this by changing your game's difficulty. In easy mode, guarded structures no longer create aggro. So the rules we just talked about, guards, don't apply if you're playing in easy. So the monsters there will still exist, they just won't attack you even if you enter their structure. However, if you switch it to hard difficulty, all the regular mob mechanics that you're used to will come back. So you will absolutely be aggroed by mobs even, if you don't attack them first, but that's only if you flip it to hard difficulty. Oh man, if you thought daytime was beautiful, wait till you check out nighttime. Holy cow. Some nice aurora going on, a little bit of moon action. Kind of like a foggy, hazy kind of look to it, but not like the annoying kind. I love it. So let's talk about, playing in peaceful if you want, right? So, like I said, you don't have to be in peaceful mode, mobs won't attack you, but if you want alternate ways to get things, you can absolutely do that. So for example, there's a zombie flesh to leather approach that you can take. There's also, if you take a look at blaze powder, for example, here's a good example, brimstone from Biomes of Plenty. So if you go into the nether and you find brimstone, you can turn it into blaze powder. So you don't have to go hunting for blazes, if you don't want. If you do want, go for it, have fun. You'll also notice that I'm walking around at night outside and there's no mobs. As mentioned, as long as there's a view of an unobstructed view of the sky, mobs will not spawn. Okay, so you'll only find them underground or inside structures that you maybe build or find along your way. It should also be noted there's a few really cool movement mechanics. So we're used to being able to crouch in the game, but if you press C, you'll go into prone mode and you'll be able to go through, 1 block tall areas. Something that's a lot nicer than having to do the trapdoor trick. You can also jump onto walls and hold onto them. So I'm gonna have to find a wall here to demonstrate this, but I think I'll be able to come up with something. Try not to fall into this lava before I fall into the lava. So you can hold shift and hold onto the wall. So you'll notice I'm kind of on the wall here. Letting go of shift will make me fall off of it. You'll eventually slide down, but you can hold shift and then jump, and you'll be able to do like a wall jump, and that'll be pretty cool. Alright, let's try that again. The best way to do this is just to find like a 3 block tall area, and you can go up to 3 blocks by jumping. So all you have to do is jump and hit shift, and you'll bounce up to the top there. So jump, hold shift to hang onto the wall, and eventually you'll slide down, tap shift, and you'll jump up to the top. And I think you can probably hold it for a second and then let go, and it'll jump up to the top there. So that's the wall jump. I'll leave in the last clip just so you guys can laugh at my failures. So I think that's a pretty good bit of coverage on the Bliss mod pack here. Hopefully it gives you guys an insight into what it's going to be like. There's a bunch of mods. You can take a look at the mod list to see them. I'm not going to read them all out for you. I just wanted to give you the highlights. But like I said, you should absolutely go ahead and take a look at the other video tutorial. It's right here. So there's Valen's video tutorial. You just click on the watch link and it'll pop it up there. So feel free to check out that one as well. And hopefully he'll give you a different perspective on this pack. Mine is more just like an introduction, as it says in the video tutorial section here. Just a quick starter guide with basic info that you need to know for the pack. And Valen's video is a full overview and review of the pack, so you'll be able to see a lot more about what this pack has to offer by watching that video. For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed this spotlight of the Bliss mod pack. For now, take it easy.